means I or me, and 挺好的 means great or good. So put that together, we have 我挺好的, 我挺好的 means I am good. 我挺好的, 我挺好的, 我挺好的. The next word we have now is 你呢, 你呢. This means and you. So you could say 我挺好的, 你呢? I'm great, and you? 你呢? 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 Next we have the word 也 means also. 也 也也也也 谢谢 谢谢 means thank you. 谢谢谢谢 Ni hao, and welcome to my complete beginner's course to Mandarin Chinese. In this course, we will learn Chinese in the most natural way possible. We won't completely focus on grammar, which other boring courses may put too much emphasis on, and we will be speaking Chinese from lesson 1. So, let's look at the basics first. Below is Chinese characters, which we will be learning how to write throughout the course. This is called pinyin. Chinese pinyin is a system of representing the pronunciation of Chinese characters using the Latin alphabet. Tones in Chinese refers to the pitch or intonation used when pronouncing a syllable. Mandarin Chinese has 4 main tones and a neutral tone. These tones can change the meaning of a word, even if the pronunciation of the consonants and vowels remain the same. The 4 tones are often denoted with numbers. First tone, high and level. Second tone, rising. Third tone, falling, rising. And fourth tone, falling. The neutral tone is often shorter and lighter in pronunciation. Chinese characters are symbols that represent words or parts of words. There's a specific order to follow when writing each character. When writing Chinese characters, generally speaking, you write from top to bottom, left to right, and it's important for learning, readability, and using electronic devices. Don't worry, I know it may sound a little bit daunting, but I can guarantee that you will gain confidence with Chinese and it will eventually become natural. Make sure you complete each lesson, do the exercises and complete the tasks provided, and I can guarantee you will learn Chinese far faster than from reading a textbook. Now, this next part is very important. With every lesson, you must write down the pinyin above each character that is covered in the lesson. This way, you will be able to remember how to say and write each of the key words in the lesson. In addition to this, I would highly recommend using the practice paper to write down new words and sentences you have covered in the lesson. Also, whilst you're going through the course, make sure to pause the video and rewind it if you need to practice pronunciation. Many courses will make you learn Chinese consonants and vowels first, and will have you practice making sounds, which of course is boring, and it's much better to learn actual words from lesson 1. Listen to the words and repeat. See you in the next lesson. Hello and welcome to part 1 of this course. So today, what I want you to do first is write down the following pinyin. The first word we have is 你好, 你好. This literally means you good. We use this to say hello. 你好, hello. 你好, 你好. 你 means you. 好 is good. So you good, 你好 means hello. Next we have 你怎么样? 你怎么样? So again we have 你 which means you, and 怎么样 means how about. So together this means how are you? 你怎么样? 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 You may have heard before that how are you in Chinese is 你好吗? Which is correct. However, most Chinese people won't say this. They will actually say 你怎么样? 你怎么样? The next word we have now is 我挺好的. 我挺好的. 我 means I or me, and 挺好的 means great or good. So put that together, we have 我挺好的. 我挺好的 means I am good. 我挺好的. 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 The next word we have now is 你呢? 你呢? This means and you. So you could say 我挺好的, 你呢? I'm great, and you? 你呢? 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 Next we have the word 也 means also. 也 也 也 也 也 谢谢 谢谢 means thank you. 谢谢 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 And lastly, we have the word 再见 再见 which means goodbye. 再见 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 So, now you've got the words all written down, let's use them in today's conversation. 你好 你怎么样? 我挺好的 你呢? 我也挺好的 谢谢 再见 Okay, let's listen to that again in normal speed. 你好 你怎么样? 我挺好的 你呢? 我也挺好的 谢谢 再见 你好 你怎么样? 我挺好的 你呢? 我也挺好的 谢谢 再见 Now, what we're going to do is you're going to play the part of A. You're going to ask me, "Hello, how are you?" "我挺好的，你呢?" Now you're going to tell me, "I'm also great, thank you." 再见. Now you're going to play the part of B. 你好，你怎么样？我也挺好的，谢谢。Great, well done. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. Remember that the words we covered today are very important, and make sure to download and complete the exercise included in this lesson. Make sure to practice, and I'll see you in lesson 2. Thank you. Hello and welcome to part 1 of this course. So today, what I want you to do first is write down the following pinyin. The first word we have is 你好, 你好. This literally means you good. We use this to say hello. 你好, hello. 你好, 你好. 你 means you. 好 is good. So you good, 你好 means hello. Next we have 你怎么样? 你怎么样? So again we have 你 which means you, and 怎么样 means how about. So together this means how are you? 你怎么样? 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 You may have heard before that how are you in Chinese is 你好吗? Which is correct. However, most Chinese people won't say this. They will actually say 你怎么样? 你怎么样? The next word we have now is 我挺好的. 我挺好的. 我 means I or me, and 挺好的 means great or good. So put that together, we have 我挺好的. 我挺好的 means I am good. 我挺好的. 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 The next word we have now is 你呢? 你呢? This means and you. So you could say 我挺好的, 你呢? I'm great, and you? 你呢? 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 Next we have the word 也 means also. 也 也也也也 谢谢 谢谢 means thank you. 谢谢谢谢谢谢 And lastly, we have the word 再见 再见 which means goodbye. 再见再见再见 So, now you've got the words all written down, let's use them in today's conversation. In this conversation, there'll be two people speaking. Let's listen to it first. 你好，你怎么样？我挺好的，你呢？我也挺好的，谢谢，再见。你好，你怎么样？你呢？我也挺好的，谢谢，再见。Okay, let's listen to that again in normal speed. 你好，你怎么样？我挺好的，你呢？我也挺好的，谢谢，再见。你好，你怎么样？我挺好的，你呢？我也挺好的，谢谢，再见。Now, what we're going to do is you're going to play the part of A. You're going to ask me, hello, how are you? 我挺好的，你呢？ Now you're going to tell me, I'm also great, thank you. 再见。 Now you're going to play the part of B. 你好，你怎么样？我也挺好的，谢谢。Great, well done. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. Remember that the words we covered today are very important, and make sure to download and complete the exercise included in this lesson. Make sure to practice, and I'll see you. 你怎么样？你怎么样？ And how do you say, I'm great? 我挺好的。我挺好的。And how do you say, thank you? 谢谢。谢谢。And goodbye? 再见。再见。Let's retry that conversation from part 1 again. Remember to repeat what you hear, nice and loudly. 你好，你怎么样？我挺好的，你呢？我也挺好的，谢谢。再见。If you completed the tasks I set on lesson 1, then you shouldn't have any problems with the conversation. Remember to try your best at writing the characters. Follow the stroke order on the exercise, and try your best to keep them all the same size in the paper provided. Okay, let's start with lesson 2. Again, we're going to write down the key words for today's lesson, and remember that the stroke order is provided in the worksheet. The first word we have today is 我, me or I. 我. We should be familiar with this word already. 你, which you know means you. 叫, means to be called. For example, you could say 我叫 for I'm called. 什么 means what. 什么 Now we have the word 名字. 名字 means name. 名字名字名字 Okay, and the last thing we will remember is 认识你很高兴认识你很高兴认识 means to meet or to know. 你 means you. 很 means very. And 高兴 means happy. So altogether, 认识你很高兴 means nice or happy to meet you. Today, we will be introducing two people. 大卫, which is Chinese for David, and 小明, which is a common Chinese name. Okay, let's listen to conversation 1, slowly. 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明，认识你很高兴。And again. 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明，认识你很高兴。Let's try that now in normal speed. 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明，认识你很高兴。Now you play the part of A. Say hello. What are you called? 你好 words from lesson 1. 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明，认识你很高兴。小明，你怎么样？我挺好的，谢谢。再见。And again. 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明，认识你很高兴。小明，你怎么样？我挺好的，谢谢。再见。Fantastic job. Remember, you can listen to this as many times as you like. And remember to do the exercises that I've provided. See you in the next lesson. 再见. Hello and welcome back to my course. Before we begin, let's start with a quick recap. I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to respond in Chinese. 你怎么样？你怎么样？我挺好的。你叫什么名字？你叫什么名字？我叫。And how do you say goodbye in Chinese? 再见。再见。And thank you? 谢谢。谢谢。How do you say nice to meet you in Chinese? 认识你很高兴。认识你很高兴。 So today, we're going to say who various people are in your family. Let's start off with writing the pinyin for the following words. Again, this means me or I. 是 means is. For example, you could say 我是 meaning I am. 这 means this. For example, you could say 这是 this is. 这是 的 is used after a person or object to indicate it belongs to that person or object. For example, you can say 我 for me. 我的 it means my or mine. 他 in Chinese means she. The section on the left means female, which you'll see in the female family members today. Next we have he, which is also pronounced ta. The sound in the pinyin is exactly the same. You may think this is a little bit confusing, but it depends on the context, on whether you're speaking about a man or a woman. So both he and she in Chinese is pronounced ta. So again, if you put de after he or she, it changes it from him or her to his or hers. For example, 他的 his, 她的 hers. Next we have the family member 爸爸 So you could say, this is my dad. 这是我的爸爸. Next we have 妈妈 So how would you say, this is my mum? That's right. 这是我的妈妈. Next we have 姐姐. 姐姐 means older sister. Now we have the word 妹妹. 妹妹 means little sister. Moving on, we have 哥哥. 哥哥 in Chinese means older brother. How would you say, this is my older brother? That's right. 这是我的哥哥. Now we have 弟弟. 弟弟 means little brother. And the last word we have is 谁. 谁 means who. So how would you think you say, who is this? Literally, this is who. Can you figure it out? That's right. You would say, 这是谁? 这是谁? Okay, let's start with our conversation. Imagine you're in China and you hear the conversation take place. Again, the conversation will be between Da Wei and Xiaoming. Xiaoming is talking with Da Wei, and Da Wei is introducing his dad to him. 你好，大卫，你怎么样？你好，小明，我挺好的，谢谢。 这是谁? Xiaoming says, while pointing at Dawei's dad, who is stood next to him. Dawei says, 这是我的爸爸。认识你，很高兴。Now, let's try that again. 你好，大卫，你怎么样？你好，小明，我挺好的，谢谢。这是谁？这是我的爸爸。认识你，很高兴。Now let's try that again at normal speed. 你好，大卫，你怎么样？你好，小明，我挺好的，谢谢。这是谁？这是我的爸爸。认识你，很高兴。Now let's try that again, but this time you're going to play the part of B. 你好，大卫，你怎么样？这是谁？认识你，很高兴。Now play the part of A. Say, hello, David, how are you? 你好，小明，我挺好的，谢谢。这是我的爸爸。Excellent job. Really good. Okay, let's try to make some sentences now in Chinese. How would you say, this is my dad in Chinese? That's right. 这是我的爸爸。这是我的爸爸。And how would you say, this is my mum? 这是我的妈妈。这是我的妈妈。And how would you say, this is my older brother? 这是我的哥哥。这是我的哥哥。And how do you think you would say, who are you? Literally, you is who? That's right. 你是谁？你是谁？ Good job. So what I recommend you do now is go ahead and make your own sentences in Chinese. Use the Chinese writing practice paper provided, and I'll see you in our next lesson. 再见. Hello and welcome back to lesson 4. 你怎么样? Again, let's recap on the previous lessons. How do you say this in Chinese? 这 and this is? 这是 And how do you say my? 我的 And how do you say, this is my dad? 这是我的爸爸，哥哥。And how do you say who in Chinese? 谁 谁 And how do you say, who is this? 这是谁 Lastly, how would you say, nice to meet you? 认识你 很高兴. So in today's lesson, we're going to strengthen what we already know and build new knowledge. As usual, let's write down the key words for today's lesson. So our first word is 哪. 哪 means which. 哪. 国 means country or kingdom. 国. 国. Next we have 人. 人 means person. 人. Putting that together, 你是哪国人 means where are you from? Literally, you is which country person. 你是哪国人? 你是哪国人? 英国 means the UK. 英国. 英国. The yin here means hero, and 国 means country. So the UK is known as the hero country. 英国. 中国 means China. 中国. The 中 is middle. So China is literally the middle country. 中国. 中国. 美国. 美国. The 美 here means pretty or beautiful, so America is the pretty country. 美国. So altogether we have 英国, the UK, 中国, China, and 美国, America. 你呢? 你呢 means and you. So, conversation. Let's listen to it first, slowly. 你好，你是哪国人？你好，我是英国人。我是中国人。认识你很高兴。So, let's break down that conversation. 你好，你是哪国人 means hello, where are you from? 你好，我是英国人。你呢 means hello, I am British. And you? 我是中国人 means I am Chinese. 认识你很高兴 as you already know means nice to meet you. Let's listen to that again. 你好，你是哪国人？你好，我是英国人。你呢？我是中国人。认识你很高兴。Now play the part of B. Say, hello, I am British, and you? Say, nice to meet you. Now play the part of A. Say, hello, where are you from? I am Chinese. Okay, let's listen to that one last time at normal speed. 你好，你是哪国人？你好，我是英国人。你呢？我是中国人。认识你很高兴。Excellent job. Before we wrap up, let's make some of our own sentences. How would you say, my dad is British? That's right. 我的爸爸是英国人。我的爸爸是英国人。How would you say, my older brother is Chinese? 我的哥哥是中国人。And how would you say, my mum is American? 我的妈妈是美国人。How would you say, he is Chinese? 他是中国人。他是中国人。And how would you say, she is British? 他是英国人。他是英国人。Okay, that's all for today. Stay tuned for the next lesson, where we'll be making questions that you'll be able to ask Chinese speakers. Again, make sure to complete the worksheets provided. 再见. Hello and welcome back to part 5 of this course. As always, let's recap on what we've already covered in previous lessons first. How would you ask someone where they are from in Chinese? 你是哪国人? How would you say China? 中国，中国。And how would you say, I am Chinese? 我是中国人。我是中国人。And how would you say the UK? 英国，英国。And how would you say he is British? 他是英国人。他是英国人。And how would you say, this is my dad? 这是我的爸爸。Expanding on that, how would you say, this is my dad, he is British? 这是我的爸爸，他是英。我叫。Now, tell me what your name is in Chinese. Remember to say 我叫 and then put your name on the end. For example, if my name is David, I would say 我叫大卫。Now, tell me where you're from. I'm from the UK, so I will say 我是英国人。我是英国人。Amazing job. Let's write down the key words of today's lesson. First, we have the word ma. Ma. Ma is a key word in Chinese, and it's used at the end of a statement to change the statement into a question. That might sound a little bit confusing, so let me give you an example. If you say 你是中国人, it means you are Chinese. Literally, you is China person. 你是中国人. But if I put ma at the end, it changes it from a statement to a question. So, 你是中国人吗 means, are you Chinese? So, 你是中国人吗 means, are you Chinese? Let's look at another example. I can say, 这是你的爸爸. As we know, means, this is your dad. So to change this into the question, is this your dad? How would we say it? That's right. 这是你的爸爸吗？这是你的爸爸吗？ Not so difficult, right? So remember, putting ma at the end of a statement makes it into a question. Let's move on. 朋友朋友朋友 means friend. How would I say, this is my friend? "这是我的朋友这是我的朋友 Next we have the word 不不不 makes a statement into a negative. Again, this might sound a little bit confusing, but it's really simple. For example, I can say 我是 meaning I am. But if I put 不 after 我, it changes it to I am not. So 我是 means I am, and 我不是 means I am not. Another example, you could say 我是中国人 I am Chinese. And if I say 我不是中国人 means I am not Chinese. You may notice that the 不 here changes to the rising tone when put with 我. So it's not 我不是, it's 我不是. How would you say then, I am not American? That's right. 我不是美国人. Well done. Lastly, we have the adjective 漂亮漂亮漂亮 means pretty or beautiful. Can you remember how to say very? That's right, 很 很 So how would you say very pretty? 很漂亮很漂亮 Now we're going to practice out the new words in a situational conversation. A is going to play the part of a taxi driver, and B is the passenger. Having lived in China for many years, I can tell you that I've had this exact same conversation dozens of times. Imagine you're with a friend and you're about to take a taxi. Get ready. 你好，你是美国人吗？我不是美国人，我是英国人。英国很漂亮。谢谢。你是哪国人？我是中国人。认识你，很高兴。你的朋友是哪国人？他是 美国人。Let's break down that conversation. 你好，你是美国人吗？ Hello, are you American? 我不是美国人，我是英国人。I am not American, I am British. 英国很漂亮。The UK is very pretty. 谢谢，你是哪国人？ Thank you, where are you from? 我是中国人。I am Chinese. 认识你，很高兴。Nice to meet you. 你的朋友是哪国人？ Where is your friend from? 他是美国人。He is. 我是中国人。认识你，很高兴。你的朋友是哪国人？他是美国人。Now you're going to play the part of B, the passenger. 你好，你是美国人吗？ Say, I am not American, I am British. 英国很漂亮。Now say, thank you. Where are you from? 我是中国人。Say, nice to meet you. 你的朋友是哪国人？ Say, he is American. Good job. Now play the part of A. Say, hello, are you American? 我不是美国人，我是英国人。Say, the UK is very pretty. 谢谢。你是哪国人？ Say, I am Chinese. 认识你，很高兴。Say, where is your friend from? 他是美国人。Okay, let's listen to that one more time at normal speed. 你好，你是美国人吗？我不是美国人，我是英国人。英国很漂亮。谢谢。你是哪国人？我是中国人。认识你，很高兴。你的朋友是哪国人？他是美国人。Excellent job. Before we finish this lesson, let's put our knowledge to use. How would you ask someone in Chinese where they are from? 你是 Next, how would you ask if your friend is Chinese? Don't forget to put ma at the end. That's right. 你的朋友是中国人吗？你的朋友是中国人吗？ Expanding on that, how would you say, where is your older sister from? She's very pretty. 你的姐姐是哪国人？她很漂亮。Lastly, how would you say China is bricky? As in Chinese, when we are describing something, we don't use the word 是, we use the word 很. So you wouldn't say 中国是漂亮. You would actually say 中国很漂亮. Again, when we say she is pretty, it's literally she very pretty. 她很漂亮. Not using the word 是. So, 她很漂亮 not 她是漂亮 Excellent. Thank you for listening. Remember to complete the worksheet and have a go at writing the Chinese characters. 再见. Hello and welcome back. As usual, let's recap on our last lesson. How do you say, "Where are you from" in Chinese? 你是哪国人？你是哪国人？ How do you say, "I am British"? 我是英国人。我是英国人。How do you say, "I'm Chinese"? 我是中国人。我是中国人。And how do you say, "I'm American"? 我是美国人。How would you make that into a question and ask someone if they're Chinese? 你是中国人吗？你是中国人吗？ How do you say, "Nice to meet you"? 认识你很高兴。And how do you say, "This is"? 这是。And "This is my dad"? 这是我的爸爸。And "This is my friend"? 这是我的朋友。Excellent job. Okay, so today we're going to look at numbers. Numbers in Chinese is really simple, and by the end of this lesson, you should have a good idea of how to use them. Remember to write down the following words. 一 That's 1. 一 2 That's 2. 3 3 3 4 That's 4. 4 5 5 That's 5. 6 6 is 6. 7 is 7. 7 8 is 8. 8 9 is 9. 9 and 10 is 10. 10 10. Okay, let's say those together and repeat. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. To make numbers higher than 10, all you need to do is take 10 and add another number at the end. So 11 is just 10 and 1. 11. 11 is 11. 11. And again, to say, for example, 15, it's 15. 15. 15. 10 and 5. Let's think about this next one. How would you say 35? Remember, 3, 10, 5. That's right. 35. The next word we have is 岁. 岁 means years old. So all you have to do to say how old you are is say the number and put 岁 at the end. So, with that in mind, how would you say, I'm 35? Remember, me, the number, and then 岁. That's right. 我35岁. 我35岁. Now, we have the question, how old are you in Chinese? Which is, 你多大了? 你多大了? Literally, you, many, big. So, to ask someone how old they are in Chinese, you would say, 你多大了? 你多大了? So, let me ask you the question. 你多大了? Well done. Okay, let's start today's conversation. Imagine you're in China and you want to introduce yourself to a Chinese person. 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明，你是哪国人？我是美国人，你呢？我是中国人，你多大了？我35岁，你呢？我28岁，认识你很高兴。Okay, let's break down that conversation. 你好，你叫什么名字？ Hello, what's your name? 你好，我叫大卫，你呢？ Hello, I'm called David. And you? 你好，你叫什么名字？你好，我叫大卫，你呢？我叫小明。你是哪国人？我是美国人。你呢？我是中国人。你多大了？我35岁。你呢？我28岁。认识你很高兴。Okay, so now you're going to play the part of B, 大卫。你好，你叫什么名字？我叫小明。你是哪国人？我是中国人。你多大了？我28岁。认识你很高兴。Now play the part of A, 小明。Say hello. What are you called? 你好，我叫大卫。你呢？我是美国人。你呢？ 我35岁，你呢？ Amazing. That's all for today. Remember to keep practicing and replay the video as many times as you like until you feel confident. Good job, and I'll see you in the next lesson. 再见. Hello and welcome back to part 7 of this course. As always, let's recap on what we've already learned on previous lessons. How do you say the word 10 in Chinese? 10. And how do you say 18? Remember, 10 and 8. 18. And how do you say 40? 40. And 46? 46. Can you remember the word for years old? 岁. And how do you say, how old are you? 你多大了? Where are you from? 你是哪国人? 你是哪国人? And how would you say, hello, I am British? 你好，我是英国人。你好，我是英国人。Lastly, how do you say thank you? 谢谢。Excellent job. Okay, so today we will be continuing our journey in a restaurant environment. If you find yourself in a Chinese restaurant in China or in the West and want to practice your Chinese skills, today's lesson will be really useful. As always, remember to write down these key words for today's lesson. The first word we have is 什么. 什么, as we've already learned, means what. 吃 means to eat. 吃 喝 means to drink. 喝 想 means want or desire. 想 水 means water. 水 咖啡 is coffee. 咖啡炒面 means fried noodles or chow mein. 炒面茶 is tea. 茶多少钱 means how much money. So if you want to ask how much something is, you would say 多少钱 The next word we have is 好吃 means tasty. 好吃 literally good eat. So if something's good to eat, it's tasty. 好吃 The next word we have is 好的 just means okay. So you use it as a response to say something's okay, it's fine. 好的 好的。Next word we have is 块钱。块钱 means pieces of money. It's similar to say dollars or pounds. So with those words, let's start today's conversation. Imagine you're in a restaurant and the waiter or waitress wants to take your order. A will play the part of the waiter or waitress, and B is the customer. 你好，你想吃什么？你好，我想吃炒面。好的，你想喝什么？我想喝水，谢谢。And after the meal has finished, the waitress or waiter comes back and asks you, 你的炒面好吃吗？很好吃，谢谢。多少钱？50块钱。好的，谢谢。Let's listen to that one more time, and I will break down the conversation. 你好，你想吃什么？ Hello, what do you want to eat? 你好，我想吃炒面。Hello, I want to eat fried noodles or chow mein. 好的，你想喝什么？ Okay, 50块。好的，谢谢。Okay, thank you. Let's listen to that again in normal speed. 你好，你想吃什么？你好，我想吃炒面。好的，你想喝什么？我想喝水，谢谢。你的炒面好吃吗？很好吃，谢谢。多少钱？50块钱。好的，谢谢。Now play the part of A, the waitress. Say, hello, what do you want to eat? 你好，我想吃炒面。我想喝水，谢谢。And after the meal? 很好吃，谢谢。多少钱？好的，谢谢。Now play the part of B, the customer. 你好，你想吃什么？好的，你想喝什么？你的炒面好吃吗？50块钱。Excellent job. Okay, but before we finish now, how do you say, just to recap, tasty? That's right. And how would you think you would say not tasty? Remember the word 不 from previous lessons. That's right. 不好吃, literally no good eat. 不好吃. So if you wanted to say fried noodles are not tasty, you would say 炒面不好吃. Again, you can say something is tasty as a drink if you say 好喝. For example, you could say the coffee is tasty. You would say 咖啡好喝. Okay, and how would you say I want to drink? That's right. 我想喝. So how would you say I want to drink tea? That's right. 我想喝茶。我想喝茶。And how do you say I want to eat? That's right. 我想吃。我想吃。And how would you say how much money? 多少钱? If you want to ask how much an item costs, you put the noun before 多少钱. For example, you could say, how much is the coffee? You could say, 咖啡多少钱? Okay, that's all for today. Remember to practice and replay this video as many times as you like. Good job, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Hello, and great to see you back here for our 8th lesson. So, as always, let's recap on what we've already learned. How would you ask, where are you from in Chinese? That's right. 你是哪国人? And how would you say, hello, I am British? 你好，我是英国人。你好，我是英国人。And how do you say, thank you? 谢谢。How do you say, tasty? 好吃，好吃，好吃。How do you say, I want to drink? 我想喝，我想喝。And how would you say, I want to drink coffee? 我想喝咖啡。我想喝咖啡。And how would you say, I want to drink tea? 我想喝茶。我想喝茶。And how do you say, I want to eat? 我想吃。And how would you ask how much something is in Chinese? That's right. 多少钱？多少钱？ Amazing job. So today, we're going back to the taxi with your friend. As always, let's write down the key words for today's lesson. 去，去。去 means to go. For example, you could say, I go, 我去. And then you'll put a place at the end. 去哪儿？哪儿 means where. 哪儿 You could also say the word 哪里. Depending if the speaker is from the north of China, they're more likely to say 哪儿. As in the south, they're more likely to say 哪里. 商场 means shopping center or mall. 商场 Next, we have the word 做. 做 means to do. 做 So, how do you think you would ask someone, what do you want to do? Think about it. You, want, do, what in that order. 你想做什么？你想做什么？ Next, we have the word 们. This is put after 我 or 你 or 他 to make it plural. For example, I could say 我 means me or I, but if I say 我们, it means we. If I say 你, it means you, but if I say 你们, it means you guys, you plural. Again, with 他, I could say 他 for he or she, or I could say 他们 for them. Next, we have the verb to buy, which is 买. 买买衣服 means clothes. 衣服衣服 Next we have 到了到了 to arrive. 到了 Next, this is a very important word. 有 有 It means to have. 有 After that, we have the word 没有没有 means don't have or not have something. 没有 So we have 有 to have and 没有 not have. 零钱零钱 means change. 不好意思不好意思 means sorry. 不好意思 There's generally two ways to say sorry. 没关系你好我想去商场你们去商场做什么你们去商场做什么我们想买衣服 And after the taxi arrives at the shopping center, 到了你有零钱吗没有不好意思没关系再见 Let's listen to that one more time while I break down the conversation. 你好你想去哪儿 Hello, where do you want to go? 你好我想去商场 Hello, I want to go to the shopping center or mall. 你们去商场做什么 What are you guys doing at the mall? 我们想买衣服 We want to buy clothes. 好的到了你有零钱吗 Okay, we've arrived. Do you have any change? 没有不好意思 No, sorry. 没关系再见 It's okay, goodbye. Okay, now you're going to play the part of A, the taxi driver. Say, hello, where do you want to go? 你好我想去商场我们想买衣服没有不好意思 Now play the part of B, the passenger. 你好你想去哪儿你们去商场做什么好的到了你有零钱吗没关系再见 Right, let's make a few extra sentences with our newly acquired vocabulary. So let's take the word 有 How would you say, do you have an older brother? That's right. 你有哥哥吗 Remember to put the special word 吗 at the end of a statement to make it into a question, right? And how would you say, I don't have an older sister? That's right. 我没有姐姐 Now we're going to learn two extra new words. The words 男 and 女 男 means male. So put that with 朋友 for friend, and we have 男朋友 which means boyfriend. 男朋友男朋友 How do you think you'd say girlfriend? That's right, 女朋友女朋友 How would you say then, I don't have a girlfriend? 我没有女朋友 How would you say, I have a boyfriend? 我有男朋友我有男朋友 Putting all of this together, how would you say, this is my brother, I don't have a sister, this is my girlfriend, she is Chinese. 这是我没有姐姐，这是我的女朋友，她是中国人。Incredible job. Remember to replay this video as many times as you like and complete the practice sheets provided. Hello and welcome back to Lesson 9 of this course. Let's recap first on what we've already learned from previous lessons. Firstly, how would you say, how old are you in Chinese? 你多大了？你多大了？ And how would you say, I am 31 years old? 我31岁。我31岁。And how do you say, very pretty? 很漂亮。很漂亮。And how would you say, the UK, China, and America? 英国。中国。美国。And how would you say, hello, I am British, and you? 你好，我是英国人，你呢？ And how do you say, this is? 这是。这是。And how about tasty? 好吃。好吃。And how would you say the coffee is tasty? 咖啡好喝。咖啡好喝。And how would you say, I want to drink tea? 我想喝茶。我想喝茶。And how would you ask the price of something? 多少钱？多少钱？ Excellent job. Okay, so today we're going to look into jobs and how to tell someone what your job is in Chinese. Let's have a look at today's key words. 有 有 which we talked about last lesson means to have. 没有 没有 again means not have or don't have. 女朋友女朋友 means, like we've talked about before, girlfriend. 男朋友 男朋友 means boyfriend. 做 again means to do something. 做 Next we have a very important word, 工作 工作 means job or work. It can be a noun or a verb. 工作 Next we have the word 学生学生学生 Now we have the word 英语